It's once again cold outside, so I am stuck inside working on wood again. Isn't too bad. So this week I am going to be making the sides of the cabinet that hold the drawers, and I'm back to where I have problems again with my tools, and I'm trying to dial in the right size for this cabinet, but yeah, so my tools aren't quite big enough, and here's the setup that I have going on right now. I'm trying to make two sides of the board parallel, and what I've done so far is I've set up my steel pieces here, my straight edges, 90 degrees to each other in the back, and I've set it so the back edge is exactly the same width on both ends here, so I get exactly the right width that I want the final piece to be. So I can make this edge and that edge parallel using the flush trim bit on the router and the edge of the table here. Now the problem comes in how to make one edge perfectly 90 to another edge, and just with the size of this thing, I don't know, this morning my brain's just not working. So I know I made this piece 90 to this edge, but I don't want to keep taking material off. Say this is a parallelogram. I don't want to keep taking material off and making a smaller and smaller piece. So what I ended up doing, or what I ended up deciding on, is I want to make sure the cabinet height is exactly right, which is 28 inches, and the depth of the cabinet is going to be close to 30 inches, and that I'll make up the difference, or any difference, with the gap in the back panel. So yeah, I'll have to do some sacrifices here to make this thing work out. So some people wonder, how can I get all this stuff done so quickly? Well, let you in a little secret. I have a twin. So as he's getting to work, I am going to explain what he's trying to do right here. So we're going to put in the drawer slides, and before we did that, we cut all the rabbet joints for the size of the cabinet. And sizing those things were very difficult because I had to make everything perfectly precise on the width, and to make sure that the sides are not splayed out or too narrow, because if anything were to happen like that, all the drawer slides would be binding as you pull in and out of the drawers. So I think that was the most nerve-wracking part of this entire project so far, is to make sure all my cuts, all my measurements were exactly precise. So did all that this morning. I cut out the top and bottom of the cabinets, did the size, the width of this this cabinet here, and yeah, I guess I'll just let you watch. So I finished one of the sides, and you can see there's not a lot of space in all this. So let me explain this here. So from the bottom of the drawer to I should say bottom of the cabinet to the bottom of the drawer, you got a 1/4 inch here. You got about 10 inches for the entire bottom of the drawer, 1 inch gap, and usually you want 1.5 inch gap, and I found that out by measuring the cabinet upstairs that I had before. And here, another 10 inches from here to here, that's the second drawer. Another inch gap, and then this is the bottom of the very top drawer, leaving about a 1/4 inch gap between the top of the drawer and the top of the cabinet here. So it's really packed. You got less than optimal space between drawers, but this is just the constraints of the entire cabinet itself. What I wanted to do is have 28 inches from here to here. So I'll have the tabletop about an inch thick to bring it up to 29 inches, which would be perfect for the chairs that we're sitting in and the height of the desk itself. So yep, this is pretty much one side. Next I am going to fit these sides onto the drawers, and then hopefully assemble everything together and see how it goes. Alright, here goes the moment of truth. I got the cabinet all clamped down. It's just dry fit for right now, and I got all the shelves, all the drawers with the sliders in, and we'll see if everything fits. Seems like it works, and that's what it looks like. The sliders need to be broken in a little bit more, and yeah, pretty much that's one cabinet almost down. Need to make the drawer fronts in here with oak, and you know, stain and sand out the outside here, make it look better. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy how this turned out. Alright, it's Sunday, and I have battled with these drawer slides all morning. I managed to fix the one cabinet yesterday. The top drawer was sticking, it wasn't sliding in all the way, and I realized that the drawer itself was slightly off at the back, about 1/16, so I shimmed it with some washers. So that one's all good. Now, with the second cabinet, I don't know what's going on. Basically, I have the bottom drawer, which is fine, and the middle and the top drawer are binding a little bit towards the end. The spring in the back that makes that soft close feature work isn't pulling the drawer in all the way. It's just not strong enough. I've measured the width of the opening, the width of the drawer, the height front and back of the rail, and everything is pretty much dead nuts, but I did notice that this board is a little bit twisted towards the end, so it says that you're supposed to have a gap of 1/2 inch, and I'm just shy of that on this side, and if I shim it, it's just going to pinch it even more, and so right now I am just giving up on this. In hindsight, it would have been better if I used a different type of drawer slide, the one that doesn't have a soft close feature, because this seems like it is the least forgiving out of all the drawer slides, and that is why you do not see soft close features on a lot of IKEA products or anything like that. Alright, sanding is done, and now we're going to put the first coat of stain on here. Hopefully it's just one coat. We're going to do ebony on the outside to match the bookshelf we have in our room right now. So it's going to be ebony on the bottom, and then pine, light yellow pine on the top. So we're going to do the inside and outside of this cabinet just to make it more uniform. I'm deciding to keep the tracks on the panel here because I don't want to deal with screwing them back in and everything. I'm just going to stain around them. And then I'm going to flip it over and stain the other side as well. Ideally, I will want to use pre-stain on this, on the outside, because this is, I think there's a pine on the outside, and pine does soak in stain at different rates at different areas, so you get blotchiness that shows up. And so I don't have any pre-stain right now. The pre-stain that I had is it dried up in the can, so I can't use it anymore. So we'll see how that turns out on this particular panel, and if it's horrible, then I will buy some more pre-stain. But anyway, first coat of ebony, and I will use the paintbrush to go around the tracks here and kind of use a rag to wipe off the stain afterwards. Usually you can use a cut up old t-shirt, which is what I'm doing in this case, to wipe off the stain after it's soaked in for a few seconds there, and to kind of smear it all around. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Time to put on a gas mask with my carbon filter and to keep the fumes down. But yeah, here it is.